All right. I think Green has had plenty of time at this point. Where is she at?
No idea, Your
No
Honor.
idea. I can run outside, see if she's out there.
She
real quick.
was-
Grab her, go
she was
check and see
around.
what she's doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry.
All right. Let me grab this case.
Ugh. I'm psyched up. Back the fuck up, Holden. Back the fuck up. Let's go. Get on your side. Get the fuck over there. Let's go.
All right.
The fuck
Hey,
over there.
keep
Let's
it down.
go.
Hey, keep it down.
Sorry, Your Honor.
All right. Before warning, this is going to be all of y'all's warning. Any outbursts or anything of that nature, I am going to hold you in contempt of court. It's going to be 300 months, $25,000 fine. This is your warning. This case is very serious. We, as I read right now,
Your Honor, you cut off.
the death penalty is on the table.
Yeah, he might die today.
Wait, who?
Your client.
Oh,
Your client.
yeah.
Your
Just
client.
the way you said that, I thought you were talking about the judge.
No, your client might die today.
You can't kill Buck.
With that being said, Peanut Gallery, you need to be quiet. This is to determine whether or not a man will see the sunrise tomorrow. Very serious charges in the statement of claim. Since at least the 19th of this month, Dankleaf has been quest to build himself a surrogate boyfriend in order to have someone to kiss on New Year's Eve. He has set about accomplishing this task by murdering or attacking and attempting to murder numerous individuals with the intent to harvest various organs or other body parts. His quest was ended by the LSPD when Mr. Dankleaf and several of his accomplices were apprehended in the act of attempting to kidnap and murder a man. This series of attacks will all with the common characteristics of harvesting organs or other body parts, open him and his accomplices up to penalties prescribed under Force's law. The charges that have been submitted against Mr. Dankleaf, defendant Reid Dankleaf is accused of first-degree murder ×2. How do you plead?
Lawyer? Not guilty.
Attempted first-degree murder ×5. How do you plead?
Lawyer? Not guilty.
Impersonating a doctor ×2. How do you plead?
What about that one? Not guilty.
Attempted kidnapping ×1.
Not guilty.
Kidnapping ×1.
Not guilty.
Reckless evading ×1.
What about that one? Yeah, guilty.
Okay. To Taryn Reid, attempted first-degree murder ×3. How do you plead?
Not guilty.
Impersonating a doctor ×2. How do you plead?
Not guilty.
Assault with a deadly weapon ×1. How do you plead?
Not guilty.
Attempted kidnapping ×1.
Not guilty.
Kidnapping 1 count.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear that last statement, Judge.
Kidnapping, one
Not
time.
guilty.
Resisting arrest, one time.
Guilty.
To Al Weaselton, attempted murder in the first degree, 2
Not guilty.
counts. Impersonating a doctor, 1 count.
Not guilty.
Holden Malou, are you here?
It's me.
Attempted first degree murder,
Nah.
1 time. Impersonating a doctor, 1 time.
Oh, nah.
Criminal possession of a firearm, class 2, 1 time.
Yeah, did that one.
Assault with a deadly weapon, 1 time.
Yeah, did that one too.
Attempted kidnapping, 1 time.
Wait, is that the one against the coppers or
I don't know. Attempted kidnapping, 1 time. How do you plead?
nah?
Kidnapping times 1. How do you plead?
Nah.
Resisting arrest.
Yeah.
And then misdemeanor possession of a controlled dangerous substance and oxy.
Oh, fuck
and
yeah
or
for
meth.
that one.
Okay. All right. With that being said, charges have been submitted. Pleas have been submitted. We'll have opening statement from the district attorney's office.
There are many traditions and rituals ingrained in our culture. Some of them are widely observed, such as the idea of cake on your birthday or trick-or-treating on Halloween. Some of them are more personal in nature, a recipe trotted out every Thanksgiving while going on a family vacation each summer. The tradition of a kiss on New Year's is one that's widely known, often observed amongst the young and in love, and it's a tradition that Mr. Dankleaf had every intention of perverting. We will show today that Mr. Dankleaf, with the assistance of Taryn Reid, Holden Malou, and Al Weaselton, was building himself a monster. And to do so, he was methodically hunting the citizens of Los Santos, combining the body of one of his previous victims, Cody Speedwagon, with other human remains and organs and limbs he harvested much more recently, all for the goal of building what he called Ryan 2.0, so he'd have someone to kiss at midnight on New Year's Eve. Thomas White, Timmy Twinkle, Valentina Hops all have a diminished quality of life thanks to Mr. Reid. They're the lucky ones. We will-
Objection, Your Honor. Facts not in evidence on the opening statement as to any individual named Cody Speedwagon.
It's testimony. It's going to be proven through testimony today, Your Honor.
That's weird. There's no documentation about that.
There is a torso.
Okay. I'm going to overrule you on this for right now, but please continue.
We will prove that due to his direct actions, both Cody Speedwagon and Walnut Zuratoku are deceased, and Balto Connolly almost joined them in that number. We will also prove that his co-defendants aided him in these matters. Taryn Reid and Holden Malou directly aiding him in the hunt for Balto. Taryn Reid and Al Weaselton aiding him with extracting an organ from Tommy Twinkle. Mr. Dankleaf had no intention on anyone remaining alive through his haphazard attempts at butchery. He made no attempt to even adopt a sanitary environment, performing these acts in a place he himself described as a meth lab. The only person with any medical background present at these operations was Al Weaselton, an ex-paramedic with an expired medical license. Not a surgeon, not someone who was familiar with organ removal. It's miraculous Mr. Dankleaf's body count wasn't higher. He showed a consistent pattern in each of these acts, above and beyond the collection of organ or limbs from his victims. He also made sure they were heavily intoxicated. In several cases, such as those outlined in People's D and People's H, his victims were force-fed either oxy or cocaine. The murder of Cody this summer is the first act we're alleging under Force's Law, followed by the murder of Wilmot Zutatoku on the 19th of December, the attack on Tommy Twinkle on the 20th of December, the attack on Thomas White on the 26th of December, and the attack on Miss Valentina Hops on the 24th of December, as well as the subsequent quest to get her replacement organ that resulted in Mr. Dankleaf, Mr. Reid, and Mr. Malou posing as doctors, kidnapping Mr. Connolly, and attempting to harvest him for parts. The rampage was finally put to a stop after a shootout with officers in which Class 2 weapons were utilized in an attempt to blow up a gas station. But even while in the cells, they showed no remorse, instead choosing to joke and laugh about the situation. Mr. Dankleaf himself made crude remarks about potentially microwaving some of the organs where the kiss to go well. This is not a man who deserves to be on the streets. We have 8 different acts, all with a similar theme, all with a cooldown period in between, and all showing premeditation and intent. His intent was to harvest parts to craft his abomination with no regard as to what lives may be lost during the course of his rampage.
Didn't have to bring up the microwave, Jesus.
All right, let me know when you're ready, Your Honor.
I'm ready.
An old man turned 98. He won the lottery and died the next day. It's a black fly, and oh, hold on. This is the wrong note. I'm not ready for an opening. These are actually the lyrics to an Alanis Morissette song. Hold on, let me get my clipboard. The DA confused me with her poetic opening. Thank you, Your Honor. May it please the court. Today, this court is present for yet another demonstration by the District Attorney's Office and the Police Department haphazardly labeling and mislabeling my clients with charges that are simply not applicable. No proof exists on the record to substantiate the charges my clients have been indicted with today. In fact, this is a case which has apparently created controversy within the police department itself. One report, written by Detective Law Enforcer, who is here to testify today, and who is the individual whom the law that we are here for today was named after, indicates that at that time she did not feel she was comfortable pressing charges. She didn't have enough evidence. She needed a better investigation. A later report by Detective Jenny Hall indicates that she and Senior Detective Pred indicates there was a dispute as to whether there was enough evidence even for a warrant, much less for a warrant carrying the weight pressed by the District Attorney's Office indictment on this case. Interestingly enough, we have Detective Pred here to testify today, but the DA didn't think it was, a good idea to call Detective Jenny Hall on this one. This is a case of haphazard evidence, haphazard reports, and an investigation which degraded over the course of time, ultimately proving at the very best much lesser charges than those faced by my clients. Today, we will prove that there is no evidence on the record for even a single charge of attempted murder, much less for the charges of murder or the application of Forcer's law. Today, we will prove that the only thing that exists on the record are morons who appear to have agreed to the sale of their organs and defendants who allegedly may have partaken in this and intended them no direct harm as a result. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, prosecution, you may call up your first witness.
I'm going to call Roman Sionis to the stand. Roman?
Yep.
Right, Mr. Sionis, raise your left hand for me. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury, so help you coil?
Damn me to hell if I do.
The witness has been sworn in, Your Honor.
Can you please state your name for the court?
Roman Sionis.
And what's your relationship with the defendant?
For a while, family.
And you've known Mr. Dankleaf for a long time, correct?
A few years now.
Were you with him on the night the Cody Speedwagon died?
Objection, Your Honor. Facts not in evidence.
Asking for his own direct testimony of events that he experienced. And if you're questioning whether or not Mr. Speedwagon is indeed dead, we have his torso in evidence.
Do we? Because I don't see any reports or DNA tests or anything actually indicating who any of the body parts in evidence belong to. For all I know, that could be the discarded torso of Uchiha Jones.
Rebuttal to that, DA.
We have direct testimony from officers who have direct knowledge of the DNA results.
Oh, okay. Well, where are the DNA results on evidence? There is no mention of the name Cody. There is no mention of the last name Speedwagon. There is nothing about Cody Speedwagon in evidence today, Your Honor.
Rebuttal to that.
Again, we have direct officer testimony as to the DNA results.
I don't have anything in the docket to indicate that.
The way that the DNA tests were conducted didn't really lend itself to a method that was insertable on the docket. It's a complicated answer, Your Honor.
Have any reports or anything like that from the police?
There is a report that directly has all of the body parts in it and pictures of all the body parts as well, Your Honor.
Okay, can you point me to that report?
Yes, one.
Your Honor, I would rebut that report does not even contain a sentence which says DNA tests were performed or who the results returned to. Simply says, "Hey, we found a bunch of body parts. Here's a picture of them."
I would like to see the report myself, Crane.
People's B mentions it, and there's another report as well.
People's who?
People's B as in Bravo. And People's Q also mentions the body parts, Your Honor.
While Your Honor reviews, I would just like to point out the entire point of an objection of facts not in evidence is to prevent trial by surprise by the prosecution by hiding everything into direct testimony and requiring actual evidence be presented before this court. If it wasn't worth writing down, it's not worth bringing up here.
And what did you say the other report was?
That's going to be People's Q, which has a list of each body part that was found. Can we sidebar, Your Honor?
Yeah, you can come up at sidebar. Go away, Roman, for a second. Come back.
Sorry, repeat that, Your Honor.
Go step away for a little
Step
bit.
to the side for a minute.
Hey, Crane, I sent you an email that might be pertinent to this sidebar. Might want to check it.
Understood.
That was all right. Objection sustained. Facts not in evidence.
Your Honor, do you want me to go back up to the
Yeah,
stand?
come on
or-
back. Yeah, I just stepped away. Just you could have stood next to like the bar or something and came back.
Well, I
Were you with Mr. Dankleaf on the 20th of December?
My apologies. Repeat the first part of that.
Were you with Mr. Dankleaf on the 20th of December?
Correct.
The Ace Liquor.
Correct.
Who else was inside the building with you?
Taryn. And that was all inside the building. There was one individual outside, but
Was Mr. Weaselton there with you that day?
my apologies. I can't remember if he was or not.
All right, that's fine. All right, and you were there with Reid, Aaron, and what were they doing?
When I had arrived, I was in a bit of I guess, a confused state. They had cleared the table and basically prepared the room for what was to happen.
And what was to happen?
A gentleman, he was responsive and conscious throughout the initial interaction. He was willing for he was willing for his liver to be taken.
Was he given alcohol?
Not the kind you'd get on a from a liquor store.
Was he given rubbing alcohol?
It seemed like the hard stuff to really put you to sleep.
I see. Was he given any other substances?
Not from what I saw.
And what happened after he was so medicated?
They requested my quote unquote medical instruction, to which I instructed through a rudimentary procedure.
And what procedure was that?
Making an incision into the lower abdomen through the stomach to get to the liver.
And what did they do once that incision had been made?
I mean, it was a pretty clean job. I instructed them very well.
All right.
The from memory, there was container with ice. From what was removed, I can't confirm if it was actually the liver. They got something onto ice relatively quick.
Did they tell you why they were taking the liver, as they believed it to be?
Due to how abrupt the introduction was, the intent of usage was not clarified.
All right. Was the intent of usage clarified at a later date?
I can't say directly in relation to that event.
Are you aware of any other such were you present for any other such extractions?
No.
Did Mr. Dankleaf speak to you about any other such extractions?
No.
All right. Did he tell you about his New Year's Eve plans at any point?
We were all talking about New Year's plans, and he did mention a couple of ideas that he may have had.
And what were those ideas?
If memory serves me correct, he was going to get drunk and do what every quote unquote couple does and kiss his partner.
And he said that he was going to kiss Ryan?
Correct.
Never mind.
Oh, no.
Sorry, repeat that part.
She said one moment. Does anybody have
Nope.
food? I'm dying up here.
Yeah,
Actually,
I have
got you.
something
I
for
got
you.
you, Your Honor. Oh, Roman's got you. He's closer.
There you go.
All right. That's all I needed this time, Mr. Salonis.
does your counsel have any questions?
One moment, Your
No,
Honor.
not you, defense. Prosecution still.
No, I do not at this time. Your
All
Honor.
right, cross examination.
Your Honor, we're actually going to waive our right to cross-examine. I'll be marking Mr. Sionis for recall.
You marked for recall. Don't go nowhere. Step down. Okay, go ahead and call your next witness, please.
Glass?
What's your first name?
Vincent.
All right, Mr. Glass, raise your left hand for me. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury, so help you Coyle?
I do.
All right, the witness has been sworn in.
Can you
Okay,
state
go
your
ahead.
name? Sorry, can you state your name and rank for the record, please?
Deputy Vincent Glass.
Thank you. And were you on duty on the 19th of December?
Yes, I was.
Did you respond to an EMS request for assistance in Sandy Shore?
Yes, I did.
And this was at the abandoned motel, correct?
Correct.
Okay. What did you see when you arrived?
On arrival, the EMS told me to go to a motel room. On the ground of the motel room are multiple tools and maybe weaponry, hammer, baseball bat, a knife. And in that motel room, in the bathroom, there was a body.
And are you aware of what injuries there were to that body?
Yes. There were incisions made on his body, and his kidneys were removed.
Are you aware of any intoxicants were found in his system?
The autopsy revealed that the individual was drugged with huge amounts of cocaine and alcohol.
And do you know his name? Do you recall?
Yes, I believe it's Welmit Zudo Toku.
All right, thank you. Was there anyone else at the scene when you arrived, or just EMS?
After my arrival, Reid was there, but he arrived after the ambulance was already there.
So while you were there, you saw Reid Dankleaf at the scene?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Do you have any questions, prosecution on and Pike?
No, Your Honor, not at this time.
You got this, Dempsey.
Okay. Defense cross examination.
All right. Deputy Glass, you stated that Reid was at the scene when you arrived.
Yes.
What was he doing?
He was just walking around.
Okay. Did you detain him?
I talked to him. I didn't detain him because he arrived after EMS had arrived.
Oh, okay. So he was there after the EMS arrived.
Yes.
Okay. What did he say about why he was there?
When I asked him, he said that he wanted to check what was going on because he lived across the street.
Okay. What did you do after that?
After what?
After you spoke with him?
I went back to the motel room.
Did you ask him to leave?
I did.
Okay. Did you have reason to believe that he had committed this crime at this time?
At that time, no.
Was there any evidence present pointing to Reid having committed this crime?
Other than him being there, no.
Did you search him at all?
No, because, like I said, he was there after EMS arrived.
Okay. What condition was the body in?
The individual is deceased. Like I said, he had incisions, kidneys were removed, and bruises on his wrists.
Okay. Did you get a chance to look at the autopsy report for the body?
Yes.
What did that autopsy report say? And if you need to reference that, it's the People's D, if you need to jog your memory.
And he had bruises on wrists, probably from being tied up or cuffed. He had incisions, which were professionally done with medical tools, probably, and kidneys removed. And the fact that,
Professionally.
yeah,
To your knowledge, is Reid Dankleaf a licensed medical professional?
I have no knowledge of that.
Are you aware of any kidneys being found in Reid's possession?
Not that I personally know.
No further questions, Your Honor.
I've got two lines of questioning. It's Deputy Glass, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Titles are important. I want to make sure I get yours right. Did you find anything else on scene, Deputy Glass? Any other evidence or outside of the various hammers and crowbars that you mentioned earlier?
No.
No, you didn't. Okay, I'm going to ask you to refer to the People's D for Delta. Look at I believe it's the last written paragraph there.
Second.
I'm sorry, it's not the last paragraph, it's the last 2 lines.
What am
Oh,
I looking at? Where it reads, Reid did walk around.
No, Your Honor, the very last 2 sentences of the second page.
That there was a note. Is that the one?
Yes, that's what I'm referring to.
Yeah.
Did you find a suitcase on scene?
That was given to me by the individual who did the autopsy.
Given to you by the okay. Did it have a note on it?
Yes. That's what was passed on to me by the individual who did the autopsy.
Okay. What did the little label on that suitcase say?
It said Dr. Pig.
Dr. Pig. To your knowledge, in any other of the other crimes that my client's accused of, were any similar suitcases found?
Not that I personally know of.
Okay. I'm going to refer you to the evidence. That's going to be the top of the second page. Did you find a fingerprint on the body for this one?
No, that was a DNA test.
That was that's a DNA test of
Yeah.
the individual. Okay. Got you. Okay, that's confusingly labeled. Understood, Deputy Glass. Okay, is that how you positively identified the victim?
Yes, sir.
Understood. Okay, no further questions.
Redirect.
Deputy Glass, is it possible that the suitcase belonged to the individual that was murdered?
Potentially,
Objection,
yes.
Your Honor, calls for speculation.
Rebuttal.
You had him speculate on. I'll rephrase.
Sustained. Rephrase.
Was the suitcase found in the vicinity of the deceased?
Yes.
Were the tools found in the vicinity of the deceased?
Yes, in the other room.
Right, but the suitcase was in the same room.
The suitcase was with the body in the bathroom.
Right. Do you remember how he was dressed?
Not from the top of my head, no.
Referring to again people's the photo of the body. It looks like in this photo he's holding.
Give me a second. I gotta look at it.
In this.
All right, I'm looking at it.
In this photo, he seems to be holding the suitcase.
Yes.
So the body, which appears to be wearing a suit, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Was holding a suitcase.
Yes.
Right. So it appears from this photo, from the fact that he was holding the suitcase, perhaps it was his suitcase.
Objection, counsel is testifying.
I'll rephrase.
Yeah, it's gonna be sustained. Rephrase.
Actually, I think that's point made.
I don't have anything, Your Honor.
All right, you may step down.
Your Honor, we will not be marking Deputy Glass for recall at this time.
You can leave whenever you feel like it, Glass. Next
All right.
witness.
Deputy Forcer?
What's going on, Forza?
Hiya. Raise your left hand for me. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury, so help you coil.
So help me coil.
The witness has been sworn in.
Thank you. Can you state your name and rank for the record, please?
Senior Deputy Law Enforcer.
Thank you. Were you on duty on the 20th of December?
Yes, I was.
Did you have a phone call with Mr. Dankleaf on that day?
Yes, I did.
What was that phone call about?
I had originally tried to call Reid about helping out with some community service that Justice Coyote and myself were conducted, but he was unable to answer. The second phone call, he called me. He said that I told him that I was trying to get him involved in some community service. He seemed very interested in that. Sorry, it was quite a while ago. He said that he seemed interested in getting involved, but then he started asking me questions about how healthy the people were. I didn't think much of it. He made comments about their internal organs.
Objection, Your Honor. Narrative.
All right. Did Mr. Dankleaf ask you about organs on that
Yes,
phone
he
call?
Objection, Your Honor. Leading.
Yes or no question?
Okay. First objection, narrative is going to be sustained. What was the second objection? The leading. What was the question? Did he something about organs?
Did he ask
to
you
write
about
it down.
organs on that phone call? It's a yes or no question.
Overruled. Go ahead.
Yes.
Can you describe what he said?
He just made comments and was asking about their organs and if they were healthy. I told him that I would speak to him later. He made a comment about whether or not I was looking for organs. I told him I wasn't, but I shared with him that I was in fact missing a kidney, which
All right. Did you receive a report from Pillbox Medical a bit later that day?
yes, I did.
And what were those reports regarding?
The pillbox medical staff were upset that there was an ambulance driving around the city, and they came to me and asked me to put a stop to it.
All right. And did you go to Pillbox Medical at that time?
Yes, I did.
And what did you see?
I saw an ambulance outside of the hospital. I saw Reid Dankleaf. I believe I saw Lucy. I saw Rudy Rinson. They were all outside of the ambulance.
And how were they dressed?
The woman was dressed in a short white dress, a little nurse's uniform. Rudy was in his usual attire, and Reid was in green scrubs.
Was he wearing an outfit similar to what the doctors wear?
Yes.
All right. Did you have a conversation with him at that time?
I did. They seemed quite upset that they couldn't use the ambulance. But of course, I had to try and defuse the situation. So to appease both parties, I told them to leave the area, find a truck or something. Don't use an ambulance so as not to upset either parties.
Right. And did you see Mr. Dankleaf later that day at PDM?
Yes, I did.
All right. And what did you see him do?
I witnessed the truck pull up to PDM. I saw 4 individuals exit the vehicle and speak with people on scene. There was a small group of civilians, and I watched them talk for a short while before loading one of them into the back of the truck. There was no weapons drawn. Everything looked incredibly civil.
All right. Did you respond to a call at the docks just a short time later?
Yes, I did.
And what did you see when you arrived there?
I saw the truck. The back door was open. There were. The back door of the truck was open. I couldn't see how many people were around, but at the time it was myself and Justice Coyote, and I had to call in for backup.
And did you receive a 911 around that time, the same time you arrived at the docks?
Yes, I did.
Okay, and what was that 911?
It was about someone being potentially kidnapped and that they were looking for their friend.
All right. And after backup arrived, what happened then?
We moved in. I saw Reid. I saw the incapacitated individual, who I believe to be the individual that was carried off, laying in the back of the truck. I stayed with the injured party. Everyone fled the area, hopped into a vehicle, and other officers pursued while I stayed with the injured individual.
And what happened to the individual that you stayed with?
He was taken to Pillbox Medical and he was admitted to the ICU.
Are you aware of what his injuries were?
The EMS said that his kidneys had been, or a kidney had been removed.
And did you receive a call from Mr. Dankleaf around this time?
It was during the pursuit. I think I was already at the hospital. I did receive a phone call saying.
Sorry, go ahead.
The phone call from Reid stating that he had a kidney, he would be willing to sell it for me for $6,000, and that if I didn't call off the pursuing officers, he would throw it out of the window.
Did he tell you on the call whether or not he did in fact throw it?
I heard over the radio one of the pursuing officers shout, "He threw a kidney at me."
I see. All right. Did you later meet with the lost at the morgue?
Yes, I did.
All right. What did they tell you?
They told me that the individual had come willingly and that they had paid him $4,000 for his time and body parts.
Can you consent to be assaulted in San Andreas?
Objection. Attempting to create a material fact that is the providence of this court and not this witness.
I'll withdraw the question.
Sustained. Go ahead.
Did one of these people at the morgue claim to have a medical license?
Yes, one of the individuals did.
Do you recall who it was?
Honestly, no.
All right. And you don't recognize them back there behind me?
I recognize a beard, but I'm not familiar with the individual on a.
All right. So you're not sure that it's the same individual?
No.
All right. That's fine. Did you meet Rudy Brinson at the Lost MC compound that same day?
Yes, I did.
Okay, and what happened during that meeting?
I told them that they were being stupid and. Do you mind if I swear, sir?
I'm writing everything you say down. Go ahead. Keep on talking. I'm sorry.
I told them.
What was your question? I'm sorry. What was your question?
Can I swear?
Oh, verbatim. Yeah, say whatever you got to say verbatim.
Yeah, I told them that Reid needs to stop fucking around. And
Did Rudy give you anything during that meeting?
He went to the dumpster next to the lost compound and he passed me a severed finger.
Did he say anything about the provenance of that finger?
Objection calls for hearsay.
All right, I heard objection hearsay. What was the question again?
I asked if Reid told her where he got the finger from.
Yeah, that's gonna be hearsay. Sustained.
All right. That's all the questions that I have at this time.
I've got 2 or 3 for Cross, but I would like to mark Deputy Forcer for a redirect examination.
Yeah, actually, I had a question this time, but I got.
Oh, sorry, Pike, go ahead.
Yeah, no, it's all good.
Always forget you guys are trading off.
Yeah, it's all right.
That's why I wait. I was writing down that you wanted for recall, but go ahead, Pike.
All right. Forcer, I was just out of curiosity. Did Reid ever mention if he was a medical professional while wearing the scrubs?
Wait, ask that question again. Wait,
did Reid ever identify himself as a medical professional while wearing scrubs?
Objection asked and answered. There's already been a question asked as to whether any of the individuals identified themselves as medically licensed or medically professioned, and Deputy Forcer said she believes one did and she couldn't recognize them.
That was specifically at the more. I'm asking overall beforehand.
I'm gonna overrule you on this one. Go ahead.
All right. Did he mention where he acquired the scrubs from?
She didn't even get to answer the first question.
Oh shit. Okay. Do you want me to answer the question again, then?
Please re-ask the question, and then force us just answer it, please.
All right. Did Reid ever identify himself as a medical professional while wearing scrubs?
He did not.
All right. Did he mention at all where he obtained the scrubs from?
He did not.
All right. Was he wearing anything else medical related, such as stethoscope, gloves?
Objection on 2 grounds on this one. 1, asked and answered. It's already been asked what the individuals were wearing. 2nd, on leading. 3rd, on compound.
Sustained. To I don't know, pick one. But sustained.
Oh, all right. You know what? Never mind. I have no further questions at this time. Then.
All right.
Sorry for shotgunning those, Pike.
You're fine.
We're on cross. Yeah.
Correct, Your Honor.
All right, cross examination.
All right. Deputy Forester, what is your preferred title?
Senior Deputy.
Senior Deputy, okay. I have to ask because some of your colleagues like to go by the made-up title of Senior Detective. We had a sergeant testify the other day that that's not a real thing, so. Okay, I've only got 2 questions for you, but I am going to be asking you a direct line of questioning later on. Just to clarify, you said that you saw Lucy, Rudy Renson, Reid Dankleaf, and one unknown individual on the scene of the truck and the ambulance, correct?
I saw them on scene at the hospital. I saw them on scene at the PDM. But with the chaos at the dock, I only positively identified Reid.
Okay. So there was never a positive identification of any of the other individuals?
Not to my knowledge, no.
Could you positively identify any of them at the morgue?
At the morgue, Reid Dankleaf, Rudy Renson were the 2 I can positively identify. there was a third bearded individual who was the one claiming to have the medical license.
Okay. Was it ever recommended that charges be brought against Rudy Renson on this?
Objection scope.
Cracked the scope open by talking about Rudy. He was on scene. I'm just wondering why he's not a defendant today, Your Honor.
And relevance.
It's relevant insofar as it's very apparent that the prosecution is cherry picking their defendants on this.
Overruled.
One more time for you, Senior Deputy. Was it ever recommended that Rudy Renson face charges in relation to his participation in this?
I have not been directly involved in this case. I only took one report, and this is the report that I have submitted.
Understood. Not to correct you, Senior Deputy, but you actually took two on this, the People's E and the People's G. Okay. At the time that you encountered the members of the Lost MC, my defendants behind me, patrolling around in an ambulance wearing scrubs, did you detain them for
Objection, misstatement of
impersonation?
testimony.
In what? I
She
need
never said she
elaboration.
encountered them patrolling in an ambulance. She said she saw them near an ambulance and had reports of them being in an ambulance. She never said she saw them patrolling in an ambulance.
I can restate if the court would prefer,
Yeah,
but
it's
I
gonna
don't.
be
I don't think that's a
sustained.
misstatement.
Yeah, it's gonna be sustained.
Okay.
You can do whatever you got to do, but it's sustained.
All right. At the time that you encountered the defendants in proximity of an ambulance, after receiving reports of them driving around in an ambulance in scrubs, were they detained for impersonation of medical professionals?
Objection asked and answered.
It's
This
gonna
was
be
not.
overruled.
There we go.
They were not.
They were not. Why not?
I could see that they were upset. Well, EMS and the Lost seemed to be upset with one another, and it was my place to try and diffuse the situation instead of escalating.
Understood. Okay. Okay. I have no further questions for Senior Deputy Law Enforcer at this time, but I would like to directly examine her later. Oh, my
Redirect.
co-counsel has a few.
Oh, all right.
All right. What exactly did you say to Reid when you went to the Lost MC compound later that day?
Objection, misstatement of testimony. She spoke to Rudy, not Reid.
Rebuttal, we're not attempting to misstate her testimony. We know she talked to Rudy. We also know she talked to our client.
It's gonna be overruled at this time.
Every time I spoke to Rudy and Reid, I can't remember exactly, but I told them that they need to stop fucking around and that what they were doing could have serious repercussions.
Okay. Were you aware of the murder that had happened the day before regarding Welmert Zudotoku at the Sandy Motel?
Objection scope.
I'll withdraw on that.
Okay, sustained. Continue.
At this time, I have no further questions, but I will be asking some questions on recall.
Redirect.
Nope. No, I'm good.
Not at this time, Your Honor.
Forza, you are up for recall. Thank you, Forza. Next witness.
Detective Pratt.
Call me a rat, motherfucker?
Stealing my outfit, dickhead.
You look like a fucking rat.
Hey, both y'all keep it down. Keep it to a minimum.
You look like Ryan 2.0.
Right, raise your hand for me, Pred. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury, so help you coil.
Yes, I swear.
Right, witness has been sworn in.
All right. Can you state your name and rank for the record, please?
Senior Detective Kyle Pred.
All right. Thank you. Did you respond to a call at the Ace Liquor in Sandy Shores on the 20th of December?
Yes, I did.
What did you see there when you arrived?
Well, what I saw was, if I remember correctly, me and Jenny got into an argument about police procedure. And I saw, I don't really recall exactly what I saw past then. There was a bunch of stuff going on. A lot of our organ harvesting
Are you
things,
aware
organ
of who
harvesting
was
related.
present when you arrived?
Jenny Hall.
All right. Was there an injured individual?
I assume there was.
All right. All right. On the 27th of December, did you take a report from Miss Valentina Hobbs?
Yes, I did.
All right. Did you take a report from Clementine Curry in the...
Yes, I did.
Did you speak to Bobby Russell?
Yes, I did.
Did you take a report from Balto Connolly later that day?
I remember. I do remember taking a report from Balto Connolly. Yes.
All right. And did you receive a phone call from Claudia Gardner?
Yes, I did.
All right. Did you see a black van at the Lost MC clubhouse later that day?
Yes, I did. It matched the description of one that was going around organ harvesting, which is illegal.
Did you see Holden Malou there?
Which one's Holden again? All these biker pussies look the same.
The one on the floor, I believe.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
me.
I'm just used to seeing him on his knees.
Mr. Pred, please remain
Yes, I
civil.
saw Miss Holden there.
Did you see Mr. Dankleaf there?
I saw a man. I did see a man who was dressed as a doctor. He had all types of doctor stuff on, and it was
All
Reid.
All right. So you did see Mr. Dankleaf there, and he was dressed as a doctor?
Yes.
All right. Did you see... What was he doing?
I can't really attest to what he was doing at that time, but I do remember that I was trying to talk to him, and which he fled from the stop by getting on the back of a bike.
I'm actually going to object as one, non-responsive. That's not an answer to the question that was asked.
How's that not
and
an answer?
And two, I'm going to object to relevance. My clients have all pled guilty to their resisting and evading charges.
That's not the incident that we are referring to for resisting and evading. That would be later. This is a previous incident.
As far as I'm aware, these are blanket charges. I didn't think that the DA got
The
to
details of this
subsequently
event
pick
are
which ones they
relevant,
were picking.
as will become clear in a few questions.
I'm gonna overrule. Let's see where this goes.
All right. So you saw Holden Malou there, and you saw Mr. Dankleaf there. Did you see any other individuals?
I believe there was a few more with them. Yeah, there was also somebody that picked Reid up to flee from that particular stop.
Okay. And what was Reid doing before he fled?
Harvesting organs.
Not what I was asking, but all right. And you said Holden Malou picked him up, and were officers able to apprehend them at that time?
I believe they got away at that time because then that's when I registered.
Objection, misstatement of testimony. The witness very clearly answered someone picked up Reid Dankleaf. Did not answer
You said
who.
previously it was Holden.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, for not remembering all the reports that I write. How foolish of me.
Oh, you should. They're only 3 sentences long each, Brad.
Yeah,
All
but
right.
that's
Hey,
too much
hey,
reading.
let's go ahead and keep it to a minimum. Keep it civil. All right. And your objection was misstatement of testimony. Is that correct?
Correct, Your Honor. The prior
And
answer of the witness just said someone. It didn't specify an individual.
yeah, it's gonna be sustained. Please continue.
All right. So you saw someone pick him up at that point, and then they fled.
Yep, they fled.
All right. Did you later get reports that Reid was at Pillbox Hospital?
Yes, I believe I did.
Did you respond to that?
Yeah, I believe I responded to that because that was a call, I believe, about the van from the previous incident that he abandoned, and then he must have went back and got it. My bad. I'm thinking out loud. I'm trying to retrace my steps.
And he was in the van at Pillbox?
I believe he was running to the van, or he was around the van. He was in the van. He was something to do with that van.
Okay. Do you recall how that chase ended?
That's the one where Holden tried to blow us all up with a Draco, and we shot them down out in the parking lot of Innocence Boulevard Hospital.
Do you recall what they were wearing at the time that you apprehended them?
Bunch of surgical. They looked like surgeons. They looked like surgical people. There was something fishy going on there.
All right. At this time, I'd like to refer to the people C that does have pictures of what Reid, Taryn, and Holden were wearing at the time they were apprehended.
Okay, give me a moment. What exhibit am I looking at? C.
C as in Charlie.
Damn, you could hear a silent fart in this courtroom right now.
It's a serious matter. Analyze this. Okay, I got it all.
All right. I think that's all I have for Pred at this time.
I have nothing.
Cross examination. Oh, Pike, do you got something?
No, I was saying I don't have anything, Your Honor.
Okay, for cross examination.
No, I'm good. I'll mark him for recall. Try to
Fred,
get
you're
some
marked
actual
Oh God,
answers out
fuck!
of him.
I'm not being marked for some recall again to sit here for 3 fucking hours.
Brett, I will call you first.
Oh,
No, call him last.
You'll be
he's an
fine, Fred.
asshole.
You'll be fine.
what's the?
Squeeze your penguin. You'll be fine.
Call him last, Crane, just to piss him off.
Next
I'll
witness.
never go to court again.
Can I get Luca Kozlov at this time, please?
I missed this. Who is Detective Clean up there?
No, that's Sergeant
Kozlov.
Bad.
Officer Kozlov.
Oh,
not a
Kozlov.
detective.
Okay.
Kozlov.
Raise your hand for me. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury, so help you coil?
Yes, ma'am.
The witness has been sworn in.
All right. Can you state your name and rank for the record, please?
I'm Luca Kozlov. I'm an officer with the LSPD.
All right. Thank you. Were you on duty on the 20th of December?
Yes.
Did you receive a 911 call about a kidnapping?
Yes, I did.
All right. And what exactly did that 911 state?
Was it Balto Colony being kidnapped from Quick Fix, I think?
Not on the 19th. That was the PDM one.
Which one
I
was
know there's a
this?
lot of calls. It's confusing. The 20th of December would be the incident at the docks. You recall that?
Oh yeah, opposite the boat docks, yeah.
All right. Okay, so did you arrive at the docks?
I think it was Forcer that called for 77s to come assist her with apprehending them.
All right. And when you got to the docks, what did you see?
I saw an ice truck and multiple individuals flooding into a van.
Were you able to identify any of these individuals?
No, I was too far at the time.
All right. And you said it was a it was a van. Sorry, what color was it?
It was black and colored. I'm not sure of the name.
All right. Were there any kind of logos or anything on the sides?
No, it was just a pure black van.
So you were involved in the pursuit of this vehicle.
Yeah, I was.
Right. And when you were pursuing the vehicle, did anything unusual happen?
A kidney was thrown out of the window. I think Daisy was in front of me at the time, and she was screaming out that a kidney was thrown out of the van.
So a kidney was thrown at your vehicle.
At Deputy Daisy.
Right. And how did that chase end?
It ended with Rudy Rinson crashing out his vehicle, and him, Al, Reid, Dankleaf, and I think Catherine Scratch jumping out of the vehicle. I was chasing Reid Dankleaf. I chased him into an alleyway. He pulled a knife and said, "Give me your kidney," and then stabbed me. I shot him down.
All right. So he tried to. He said, "I'm sorry." He said, "Give me your kidney,"
Yeah.
and then stabbed you.
Yes.
On the 21st of December, were you present for a traffic stop with Mr. Dankleaf? He would have been in the scoop of a construction vehicle.
I think so, yes.
Do you recall what he had with him at that time?
Objection vague.
Okay, did he have a pair of human lungs in his possession at that time?
Objection leading.
Yes or no question.
No, that one's gonna be leading. It's gonna be sustained, and then the objection to vague sustained.
All right. So during the traffic stop, did Mr. Dankleaf have anything unusual shoved down his pants?
He had a pair of lungs in his pants.
All right. Were those lungs recovered?
Yes. Oh, no, I think they were left on his person since we couldn't take them, but we did take a DNA swab, I think, and was given to EMS to process.
Was Mr. Dankleaf placed under arrest at that time?
Yeah, he was detained at the time.
And was he actually brought into custody? Do you recall?
I'm unsure. I
Okay.
left the scene once it was all dark.
All right, that's fine. Did you have a conversation with Mr. Dankleaf on the 26th of December outside of Pillbox Medical?
Yes, I did.
And what was that conversation about?
It was about human body parts and him having receipts for people donating their organs.
Did he mention any specific individuals?
No, he didn't name anybody.
Okay. Did he mention contracts?
Myself and Officer Frank asked about contracts, and he said that he didn't have any.
Right. Okay. Did he tell you about where he? Did he tell you about operations he was doing?
He brought up that to complete his Ryan 2.0, he just needed a leg.
All right. And did he say anything about where he was taking these organs? A location?
No.
All right. Were you with Officer Williams later that day when he received a phone call?
Yes.
And did you respond to a call at the Ace Liquor in Sandy Shore later that day?
Yes, I did.
And what did you see there?
Once we breached the Ace Liquor, on the top floor, we saw 20 bottles of full vodka bottles and a man with a missing leg.
Was he conscious enough to say anything at the time?
Yeah, he was conscious. I think he was very out of it though.
Okay. What did you get his name?
No.
All right. And did EMS take him?
Yes.
Or is there anyone else present or just that man?
It was just him.
Were you on duty the 27th of December?
Yes, I was.
Did you receive a report about Balto Connolly?
Yes.
Was that report that he had been kidnapped?
Yes.
Okay. Did you later arrive at the Lost MC Clubhouse?
I did, yes.
All right. What did you see when you got there?
When I got there, I saw Reid Dankleaf in a surgical outfit in a black van. Saw Holden Malou leaving the clubhouse, and I saw, I think it was Balto Colony jumping out of the vehicle and running down the street.
Sorry, which vehicle was he jumping out of?
The black van.
Okay, so you saw Balto Connolly jump out of the black van and run down the
Yeah.
street. And what happened then?
Reid pretty much was saying some things to him. I'm unsure what he was saying. Pred was trying to detain him. Reid jumped out of the driver's seat. Holden Malou came up on his motorbike, and Reid Dankleaf jumped on the back of it. I started to pursue him, and I lost eyes on Zancuno Tuttle when I flipped, and then Officer Max started to chase them.
Did you get reports later that same day about Reid hanging out around Pillbox?
Yes.
Okay. Did they specify what he was doing there?
The Lost were searching for Balto Colony, apparently, and were searching the hospital for him and his whereabouts.
Do you know for what reason they were looking for him?
To harvest his organs.
And what happened when officers arrived at Pillbox?
It turned into a chase through the city, leading into the south side. Then they went for a gas station. I advised officers to not go through the gas station. Holden Malou opened the back left door and opened fire on the gas pumps to try and blow up officers. Turned into a gunfight ending at Davis Hospital, where they were apprehended and shot down.
And at the time, were they dressed in any particular attire?
Yes, they were all dressed up as surgeons and doctors.
All right, thank you. Were you present in the cells afterwards?
Yes, I was.
Do you recall the kind of remarks they were making? Mr. Dankleaf
n-
specifically?
No, I don't.
All right, that's all the questions I have at this time.
I've got a couple, and then I know my co-counsel has a few too.
Yeah.
Okay, let's rewind a bit to the
Pike, you got any questions?
Oh, sorry, Pike.
No, Your Honor, I don't.
All right, cross examination.
Let's rewind a bit to the kidney being thrown at you backwards like a green shell on Mario Kart.
Okay.
Did any officers stop when this so-called kidney was flung out of a window?
Yes.
Okay. Was the kidney retrieved?
Unsure.
Unsure. Was the kidney examined?
I'm not sure. I was second. It was Mr. Carcass that stopped. I was still pursuing them.
Okay. And that kidney's not in evidence, is it?
I have no clue.
Okay. Did you say it struck your vehicle or
No,
Deputy Dukakis'?
It was Deputy Dukakis' vehicle. I was secondary.
Okay. How close were you to Deputy Dukakis' vehicle?
About 20, 30 meters.
20 or 30 meters. Okay. So not close enough to directly observe it.
Yeah, you'll be about right.
Okay. So did you hear it hit the window?
No.
No. Okay. I was just wondering what it would sound like when it. Okay. All right, let's focus on this incident at the Ace Liquor. I just want to clarify for the court's record, you did not get that individual's name.
No,
To your knowledge, did any officers get that individual's name?
I'm not sure.
To your knowledge, did anyone take a statement from that individual?
Unknown.
To your knowledge, did anyone follow up with medical providers about the well-being of that individual?
Unknown.
Okay, so this mystery person then. All right. Let me review my notes briefly. I'm going to turn it over to my co-counsel. I might tag back in.
All right. In reference to that incident from report number 5935, you stated you received 911 calls.
Yeah,
Why are the transcripts not documented?
because this report was made about 2 weeks after, and I don't recall everything.
Okay. And then you also stated that Mr. Dankleaf was detained during that incident because he was shot down. Was he released after being shot down?
Yes, he was.
Why?
Unknown.
Who released him?
Forcer Dukakis.
Okay. The report also states that since he was released, you were unable to make a full report at the time. Why not?
Well, I didn't have Mr. Dankleaf in custody, so there was no reason to make a full report. I did do a warrant with actual a full report, but that expired, so that report
Okay.
is gone, disappeared.
Okay. Was there any further investigation done regarding this incident?
No.
Okay. Was the individual involved ever brought in for any kind of questioning?
No.
Okay. Moving on to another incident, the one from December 27th from the People's O and the People's C.
Wait,
Okay.
talk about the people's O.
Yes, and the People's C.
Man, that show sucked ass. The OC. Ugh.
Where's the people's O?
I believe it's on the third page of the docket, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm ready for you to talk about it.
Okay. You stated earlier in your testimony that the suspects were attempting to find Balto Connolly. Can you describe how they were attempting to find him?
Searching around, going into the hospital, asking people if they've seen him, just lingering around the general area of Elgin.
Okay. Were they using Twitter?
I can't remember.
Okay. Did you receive any additional reports that day about the suspects searching for Balto Connolly?
I think we just got the 911.
Okay. So you didn't receive any reports about the description of the vehicle or anything like that?
It's just the same black van that was used in the prior situations.
Okay. And that vehicle was spotted at some point during the day?
Yes.
What happened when it was spotted?
I turned on my code tools and I tried to pull them over and they started to flee.
Okay. And then what happened at the end of the pursuit?
They were shot down.
Okay. Were the suspects GSR tested?
Yes, they should have been, yes.
And what were the results?
Positive.
Okay. Were casings collected at the scene of the shooting?
Unknown.
Okay. Why were the results of all those GSR tests not documented within report 6071 or 35935.
Unknown.
Okay. And then I guess we can move on to the next situation, which was from December 26th in reference to the People's A. I'll give you a moment if you need. This was the incident where you stated earlier that you ran into Mr. Dankleaf at the hospital.
What letter was it again? Sorry.
A.
Okay, continue.
Okay. Where exactly were you?
I was outside Pillbox Medical with Senior Officer Frank Williams.
Okay. Was Mr. Dankleaf detained at the time?
No.
Okay. Before you questioned him, did you read him his Miranda rights at all?
No.
Okay. What did he say to yourself and Frank Williams?
Well, we were talking to him about if he had any receipts for those body parts. He said no, he didn't. And then he started going on and gloating about how he has nearly built his Ryan 2.0 and he just needs a leg without us asking anything about Ryan 2.0.
Okay. In the last paragraph, the report states that Frank Williams was on the phone with Reid and hung up on him after Reid allegedly asked for his leg. At what point did you both leave the hospital?
What do you mean?
I'm just pointing out that the report is very vague. At no point in this report does it state that you guys left or allowed him to be free to go.
Objection, misstatement of testimony. He testified earlier that Frank did receive a phone call from Mr. Dankleaf.
And Your Honor, I am pointing out that it does not state that in the report.
For A?
Yes.
Let me look at the report one more time.
Your Honor, in further rebuttal, we could have just objected facts not in evidence, but instead we're teasing that out through direct testimony.
I'm just trying to clarify this report as it was very confusing to me when I read it.
Well, for myself, I can't speak for Senior Officer Frank Williams, so I don't know why I'm being asked this.
And what was the objection on the floor?
I believe the
Prosecution, what did you
DA's
object
office
to?
had misstatement of testimony, Your Honor.
I'm gonna overrule at this time. Go ahead, continue.
Just to reiterate my question, at what point did you both leave the hospital?
I can't remember that, to be honest.
Okay. I suppose we'll move on. Were you involved in the raid on the property Mountain View Drive 1?
Mr. Dankleaf's
Objection
house?
scope?
Was the
I'll
question
withdraw.
again? Thank you.
No further questions unless Crane has any.
I've got one line that I'd like to get pushed into. I want to clarify something. I'm not sure which report it's in relation to, but you said you found Mr. Dankleaf in possession of human lungs during a traffic stop. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, why were those not seized from him?
I don't know. I wasn't the arresting officer.
Okay, do you know who the arresting officer was?
The Senior Deputy Doc.
Senior Deputy Dark. Okay. I'll ask him about that then. To your professional knowledge as a deputy with the Blaine County Sheriff's Office, is it illegal to be in possession of human organs?
Well, actually, I'm an officer of the LSPD. I don't have anything with the Blaine County Sheriff's Office.
Oh, my apologies. I'm sorry, officer. As an officer with the Los Santos Police Department, is it illegal to be in possession of human organs?
To my knowledge, no, it's not.
Okay, interesting. Okay, no further questions.
Redirect.
Do you have anything? I think we're good, Your Honor.
Okay. You may step down. Do you need is he on recall? Defense. You can step down.
We are. Hold on. We will not be marking Officer
All right, Luca.
Clean for recall.
All right, Luca, you can leave whenever you're ready. Do we have another witness from the prosecution? Okay, I gotta take a piss. Recess.
These pants.
All right, be quiet. Be quiet. Let's go ahead and get back started.
Rachel, I had to break into your car.
Quiet. Next witness.
Senior Deputy Doc.
Oh, it's me.
Rat. Yeah, I had to break into your car to get them. Sorry.
All right, raise your hand for me. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury, so help you coil?
Yeah, I do.
All right, this witness is sworn in.
All right, can you state your name and rank for the record, please?
Senior Deputy Richard Dog.
Right, thank you. Were you on duty on the 21st of December?
Yes, I believe so.
All right. Did you detain Mr. Dankleaf?
Yes.
Well, what did he have with him?
Say who or what?
What?
He had a pair of human lungs on his person where each lung was placed on each thigh. He stated it was for warmth.
Did officers recover the lungs?
Yes, I did remove them from his person.
All right, thank you. And was Mr. Dankleaf arrested that day?
He was detained at the time when his friends decided to help him escape, and he did so.
Do you know which friends those were?
Catherine Scratch was present. The others were members of the Lost MC, who I can't recall the exact names of, as they are all the same meth heads to me, ma'am.
All right, understood. Were you on duty on the 27th of December?
I was.
Did you take a statement from Claudia Gardner regarding Balto Connolly and Mr. Dankleaf?
Yes, I did.
All right. And were you present for the arrest for that day, Mr. Dankleaf's arrest?
Mr. Dankleaf's arrest. I wasn't present at the actual arrest, but prior to that in the cells, I was present.
Okay. And what kind of remarks did you hear in the cells from Mr. Dankleaf?
I don't remember or recall anything he's saying. I was mainly in the office doing the paperwork.
All right. But you were there when his home was raided.
Yes, I was.
All right. What was found in his home?
A fridge or freezer full of body parts.
Do you recall which body parts were recovered?
Yes, there was a head, a tooth, a torso, a leg, intestines, a pancreas, a toe. I'm sure I'm missing something. There was a lot. It was near a full human being, a Frankenstein monster.
And do you recall the DNA results?
Objection, Your Honor. Facts not in evidence. We have been over this.
It's gonna be sustained.
All right. Thank you.
Also, Dark, my husband's not
You're
a
up.
monster, you asshole.
If Pike doesn't
I
have anything.
disagree. No, I don't have any. I don't have any questions.
Cross-examination.
All right, Senior Deputy Dark. Were you present at the traffic stop involving Reid Dankleaf on the 21st?
Was that the
Asked
one
and
when?
answered.
All right, what was your involvement in the traffic stop?
Is this the traffic stop where they were in those big yellow digger things, ma'am?
Yes.
I was the responding officer, and I was the one who was in control of the scene.
Okay. What was the reason for the stop?
The reason for the stop was because they were seen leaving the scene of a reported 1071, which is going to be shots fired.
Okay. Did you personally observe the suspect shooting from their vehicle?
Negative.
Okay. And previously you said you were not able to identify the suspects. Is that correct?
No. I'll clarify. I could identify the suspect. Reid and Kat were definitely present, but to the best of my recollection, I cannot recall the other two who were present. They weren't wearing massacre. Actually, you know what? Roman Sionis was there. I remember Roman, and then there was one more.
Okay. When he was detained, did you GSR test Reid?
Yes,
What were the results of that GSR test?
he was positive GSO.
Why were the results of that GSR test not submitted into your report?
Unsure, ma'am.
Okay. Did you find a gun in Reid's possession?
To the best of my recollection,
She opened the scope when she asked what was in Reid's possession, Your Honor.
She also blanket referred to this report.
Overruled. That's the question.
so can we ask for me?
Yeah. Did you find a gun in his possession?
To the best of my recollection, there was no weapon found.
Okay. Did you find any casings at the scene where he had shot from his vehicle?
I don't believe I was the officer who searched for the casings. I do believe there was casings on scene. The scene was Elgin Ave on the overpass of LS Freeway.
Okay. But you were the one who wrote this report, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Why were the casings not documented in
Objections,
the report?
relevance.
I can give the relevance to that. The charge was for escaping custody, ma'am,
Hey,
not
don't
shooting.
say anything. Relevance is the objection on the table, correct? What was the question again? One more time.
I was asking why were the casings not documented in the report?
Your Honor, if I may rebut.
Okay, go ahead.
It goes to the probative value of not only this report, but all reports, and shows the documentation or lack thereof that the defense has been contending with throughout the entirety of this trial. Helps show the completeness or the truthfulness of all of these reports.
It's going to be overruled at this time. Continue.
Why were the casings not documented?
He wasn't being charged with anything to do with the shooting. He was merely being charged for escaping custody once he'd been detained.
Okay. When you found and recovered the human lungs, were those sent to be tested to get a DNA match?
Yes, they were actually handled by EMS Heidi. I'm unsure on her surname. I apologize. But she did take them to Pillbox where they were tested. However, there was no positive DNA match.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to a different situation. You stated before that you were part of the raid on the property Mountain View Drive 1, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Were you aware that the address on the warrant was incorrect?
Rachel, no. No. No bueno.
Shut up, Reid.
No, that
No,
was...
be quiet, Reid. Don't say anything else.
Okay.
So can you re-ask the question?
Were you aware that the address on the warrant was incorrect?
I
One
never
moment, Your Honor.
read the warrant.
Rachel, come over here.
What's going on here?
Apologies, Your Honor. There was a bit of confusion there. I'm going to withdraw my question, and I have no further questions, but Crane may have some.
I've got a couple. All right. So you gave us a list of body parts that were found in the Mountain View Drive property. Were any body parts located in the Lost MC clubhouse?
No, not to my knowledge.
Okay. To your knowledge, were any kidneys recovered?
No, not to my knowledge. Not in that raid specifically.
Okay. What about any of the raids relating to Mr. Dankleaf?
To my knowledge, there was only one raid on Reid Dankleaf.
Okay, but no kidneys. What about a liver? Were any livers recovered?
Not to my knowledge.
All right. To your personal knowledge and in your professional opinion, is there anything per se illegal about the possession of human organs?
The possession of a human organ, to my knowledge, is not illegal.
Okay. And you said DNA testing is already complete on the lungs.
The lungs found on the 21st. Yes, that was complete.
Okay. Is there any further investigative need of those lungs since DNA testing has been completed?
Given the circumstances regarding the investigation into Mr. Dankleaf and the removal of organs, yes.
Okay, okay. All right, so if we're going to ask for those back, we'll ask for them back after trial. Got it. No further questions, Your Honor.
All right. Sure, there's a redirect that's supposed to be happening here.
All right. Mr. Crane mentioned DNA testing on lungs, and you said not on the ones found on the 21st. Were there DNA testing done on the other lungs found?
Objection.
Yes.
Facts not in evidence, Your Honor. We have been over this. We asked about DNA testing on the lungs because the facts are in evidence.
Asked about DNA testing on lungs. I'm expounding on that.
She's falsely opening the scope because I asked about DNA testing on particular items found.
Your Honor, if they wanted to not open up the scope, then they should have kept their scope tighter.
Your Honor, we kept the scope very tight. We asked about the DNA
They asked
testing
about
on
DNA
evidence
testing.
that
They
was
asked about
performed.
DNA testing on lungs specifically. This question is pertinent to both.
We asked about the DNA testing on the lungs that were obtained on October 21st.
You specifically
that does
said, was
not
there
open
DNA
it.
testing done on lungs? He's the one who tightened it to the 21st.
It's gonna be sustained. Are there any more questions on?
No, there is not, Your Honor.
All right, you may step down. This one up for a recall.
No, Your Honor, we will not be recalling Senior Deputy Dark.
Enjoy death, Reid.
Next witness.
I would like to review some evidence at this time, Your Honor.
You may.
In the People's F, there are tweets from Reid specifically stating he is selling locally sourced steak and kidney pies for $6,000 each. There is also a tweet asking the patient to come to the gun store. In People's Inn, there is an entry on the 12/23 that mentions a tow purchase for $10,000. I would also like to direct the attention to People's J, which is Valentina Hopps's medical report, and People's H, which is Thomas White's medical report. And then again, there's the picture of the recovered organs, limbs, and assorted body parts in People's B.
Your Honor, actually, at this time, I would like to motion to strike the medical report of Thomas White. We have heard no testimony, and there is no other evidence corroborating that an individual named Thomas White is at all involved in this.
The date and the injury both match the individual from the meth house that was recovered with a severed leg, Your Honor.
Well, it's an awful shame that the officers didn't bother remembering who the victim was. Clearly, they didn't care enough to document that in their reports. We have no way of knowing if this is the same guy who lost his leg or not.
Motion to strike what?
The medical report of Thomas White.
Denied.
All right.
The motion to strike denied. Continue.
That's all the evidence to review specifically that hasn't been mentioned previously, Your Honor.
All right.
At this time, the prosecution rests.
Y'all rest, then defense. It's your turn.
Your Honor, we would call Senior Detective Kyle Pratt to the stand.
I will cry.
All right. You're still under oath. Go ahead.
Yes, Your Honor. I've never lied in my life.
All right. Briefly, what is your occupation again for the court?
I'm a detective within the LSPD.
All right. Do you have any special titles or certifications?
Can you define certification and special title?
Yeah. Are you part of any special task forces? Do you have any special?
Yeah, I'm a member
certs
of the
within department?
JTF.
Member of the JTF. Okay. And how long have you been with the LSPD?
Roughly 2 years. And I wouldn't trade it for anything. It's great. We have great benefits.
All right. For the court's reference, I'm going to be referring to the People's F for Foxtrot. Were you on duty on December 20th, 2020?
I assume I was.
You assume you were. Okay. Do you remember the individual referred to in this report as Patient 1?
Who's that?
Don't remember him at all. Okay.
I don't know which report it is. I don't know the stuff that went down that day. I'd have to have time to reference the report to have a proper answer.
Got you. Okay. Do you remember having a confrontation with Detective Jenny Hall in relation to bringing charges against individuals on scene?
Yes.
Okay. What was the nature of that confrontation?
I don't remember the direct nature. I just remember that there wasn't really enough PC at that time. I don't really remember enough the details off the top of my head. It's not documented.
Okay. Do you remember the individual named Tommy Twinkle? Or Timmy Twinkle?
No, I don't. Is it Tommy or Timmy?
I'm not sure. There's two different reports that refer to him by Tommy Twinkle, Timmy Twinkle Toes, and Timmy Twinkle. So I have no idea what his name is. I'm hoping you did.
No, I can't recall.
All right. Okay, we'll move on from that then. All right. Referring to the People's Exhibit C, whenever the defendants were apprehended, were they in possession of any human organs at that time that you recall?
When was this? When did this apprehension occur?
December 27th, 2020.
Was this at the
Report,
Lost Compound?
I believe so, yes.
So if this was the apprehension at the Lost Compound, are you referring to the incident where, because there's several incidences, all right? There's one where I pulled up on Reid, all right, and he ran. And then there's the one where we raided the Lost Compound. I'm not sure which instance you're referring to.
This is the one where you pulled up on them and they ran. I believe the shootout you referred to earlier.
The shootout that happened at the Lost MC Clubhouse?
The shootout involving the gas pumps. I believe it ended at Davis, you testified earlier.
I can't attest to them having any human organs, but I only searched one individual from that instance. The person who I searched at that time didn't have any stuff on them like that.
Okay.
I don't know
let me
about the
see.
others. I just know about the one I dealt with.
Got you. Okay. The one you dealt with, he didn't have any human organs or body parts on him.
Yeah, she didn't have any.
Okay. All right. Who was that individual?
I'm unsure.
Unsure. Okay. Okay. Actually, I have no further questions for Detective Pred. That wraps me up there.
Co-counsel, defense,
I have no questions, Your Honor.
cross-examination.
Detective Pratt, you said that you didn't want to press charges immediately, correct?
Yes.
Do officers have to press charges immediately?
No.
Right. So you didn't want to press charges because you didn't have the full story at that time, correct?
Correct.
All right. That's all I have right.
Your Honor, allow me one moment. I may actually have a motion in relation to this.
Is that Ryan Parker in the leopard suit?
No, Pred, that's my stepsis.
Your Honor, I am actually going to motion to strike this witness's testimony from the record. I'm going to refer this court to the People's Exhibit F. Let me know if you need a moment to get there.
The fuck's that?
So pursuant to
I
this
have it.
report, a couple of paragraphs down, paragraph beginning while waiting for EMS. The last sentence of that paragraph says, "This led to a fight between Hall and Pred, who believed there was enough evidence to place a warrant." Now, reviewing the testimony by Officer Kyle Pred just now, he is arguing that he, at the time, did not believe there was enough probable cause or evidence to place a warrant. However, the People's F indicates that he did, in fact, believe that and was fighting with Detective Hall.
Your Honor, am I really supposed to remember everything that gets written in a fucking report that I didn't even write? Did I write that report? I didn't
Your
write
Honor,
that shit.
We would motion to strike one of the two. They are directly conflicting with one another.
And I'd argue that the wording of the report is vague enough that it could have been Hall who believed there was enough evidence and Brad who didn't. In that particular paragraph.
Motion's
Because if you look at the sentence
motion's gonna
before,
be okay. Motion's gonna be denied. I'll take it under advisement, Crane, and I'll weigh it in as to what's been said here.
Understood.
As far as and with Jenny not being here as well. Okay.
Understood, Your Honor. We have no redirect for the witness.
All right. You the cross examination said yes, no. No, we're done. Redirect done. Okay, you're good to go, Fred.
All right.
All right, next witness.
Your Honor, at this time. Your Honor, at this time, we would call Mr. Roman Sionis to the stand.
You should still be under oath, Mr. Sionis.
I am.
Let me know when you're ready, Your Honor.
I'm ready.
All right. How are you doing today, Mr. Sionis?
Not too bad. I'm glad to be out of Gem Pop for a little while at least.
Yeah, fresh air and good burgers must be nice. All right. I'm sorry that I have to go down this line of questioning, Roman, but I do have to ask, have you entered into any agreements with the prosecution in exchange for your testimony today?
general objection, Your Honor.
I do not understand that general objection.
Whether or not he has entered into any agreements with the prosecution is irrelevant to the case.
It is not irrelevant, Your Honor. It goes to any biases the witness may have that are affecting his testimony in court today.
It's gonna be overruled. Answer the question.
All right, Roman, have you entered into any agreements in exchange for your testimony today?
Your Honor, may I have a word with you? Just for
Sidebar, Your Honor.
clarification.
Yeah, sidebar. It's fine. Get away, Roman. Come back, Roman. Okay. The objection, the general objection is going to continue to be overruled. You may re-ask your question, Crane.
All right. First, I would like to congratulate DA Green on the longest objection ever that I'm aware of. But, all right, Roman, let's get back into it. Have you entered into any agreements with the prosecution in exchange for your testimony today? A simple yes or no will suffice.
Yes.
Okay. And as part of that agreement, did you or anyone close to you benefit?
Hold on, pause.
From...
Where's Reid?
You just walked out, Your Honor.
Hey, I think he said he was gonna get some burgers or something.
Yeah, he was really hungry.
Man on being held for the nines just walked out of the court. Not even, third time, by the way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
first
it's like
time.
the third or fourth time.
Well, first time I told him to go get pants. and
Hey,
he's
let's
fine.
send one
Yeah.
bailiff to a court case with 4 defendants. Yeah. Good deal.
LeBar.
Good fucking deal.
LeBar, please.
Should we wait for the defendant, Your Honor?
Y'all are representing him. We'll continue.
Oh, right. And again, Roman, a simple yes or no is fine. Have yourself. He said yes to the second. Okay. All right. Now that we got that out of
did
the
you
way.
have a second question, or
Yes.
were you still
yes, I
asking
did.
about did he enter an agreement?
No, I had a second question.
All right. What was your second question?
Were you or someone close to you granted a form of benefit in exchange for your testimony as part of that agreement?
Yes.
All right. That's all I'm going to ask about that. All right. Thank you, Roman. Now, referring to the 2 situations that you were involved in. The individual who is referred to as patient number 1 in the People's Exhibit F. Did that individual willingly go with yourself or the other defendants to your knowledge?
I wasn't involved in any pickups, for lack of a better term.
Okay. Were you aware of any agreement between this patient 1 individual and the defendants?
I was aware that payment was offered.
Okay. Do you know how much that payment was going to be?
From one incident, I know it was $10,000.
Okay. And referring to patient number 1, the first guy or girl, we have no idea. Did that individual understand that none of the defendants had a medical license?
It was reaffirmed, so I would assume that they were understanding.
All right. When the police arrived on scene, did patient 1 leave the scene willingly with them?
I can't recall them.
Okay, that's fine. Was there any intention on part of yourself to kill this individual?
No.
To your knowledge, was there any intention by the defendants to kill this individual?
No.
Okay. What was the intention regarding patient number 1?
A simple, I say simple, a transaction, a trade from the defendant to the individual for a transaction of money. In return, the person's body part would be exchanged.
All right. Was there an intention to get that individual professional medical care after that?
I would say so.
All right. Okay, let's flip over to the second situation mentioned in that report with Timmy or Tommy Twinkle. Were you part of that situation as well?
The individual, was he at the liquor store? You'll have to clarify for me.
The individual who was originally at the church.
I'm not aware of the church.
Yes, Roman. This is going to be the individual at the liquor store on Algonquin.
Oh, then, I'm sorry, repeat the question?
Were you involved in the situation involving Tommy Twinkle?
Yes, at the liquor store, yes.
All right. Do you see that alleged victim in the courtroom today?
From my memory's not good. I can't say I do exactly.
Okay, that's a shame.
Not from visual clothing, at least.
All right. And where did you first encounter Mr. Twinkle?
Literally minutes before the quote unquote operation was going underway.
Roman, just for my own clarity, because I'm getting a little confused on this. Were you only part of one of these, or were you part of 2 of these?
The one,
Just
the
the
one
one.
at the liquor.
Okay, so the individual referred to as patient 1, you weren't involved in that at all.
I thought you were talking about the liquor store one. My
Gotcha.
apologies.
Okay. So just to kind of seal that up, then all of the questions I asked you about patient 1, that's going to be referring to this Timmy or Tommy Twinkle instead, right?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Okay. And to your knowledge, did that individual die?
No.
All right. I have no further questions for Mr. Sionis.
Parker,
I have no questions, Your Honor.
prosecution, cross.
We don't have anything at this time, Your Honor.
You may step down, Sionis. Defense, next witness, please.
Your Honor, at this time, we would recall Senior Deputy Lauren Forcer.
Forcer, you still under oath? Please step up, please and thank you.
All right, Senior Deputy Lauren Forcer, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I am doing very well. I actually haven't had the pleasure of examining you in a trial yet, so I'm going to ask a couple of preliminary questions, if that's okay. How long have you been with the Blaine County Sheriff's Office?
I believe I transferred from the LSPD to the BCSO in September 2019.
Okay, yeah, you had a transfer in there. How long have you been with the Unified Police Department overall?
Since August 2019.
August 2019. Do you have any special certifications or training related to your job?
A handful.
A handful, okay. What, could you tell us what some of those are?
Task Force, Internal Affairs. I'm about to start my K9 training, and Flight Cert.
Ooh, congratulations on starting the K9 training. That must be pretty exciting. All right, I'm going to be referring to the People's Exhibit E if you need to refresh your memory on anything while we go along, okay? Referring to your statement in that, it indicates that you encountered individuals later identified as some of our defendants driving an ambulance. Is that correct?
At no point did I witness anyone driving an ambulance.
Okay, okay. You just encountered them in proximity to an ambulance.
Correct.
Okay. Did you see them later on in an ice truck?
Correct.
All right, and you saw them. You previously testified you saw them conversing with individuals.
Yes.
Did you witness any kidnappings?
No. I do not believe I witnessed a kidnapping.
Okay. Did you see any weapons drawn?
I did not.
Did you overhear any of these conversations?
I did not.
Okay. Could you tell from any body language or anything like that that there was any threats
Your Honor
or
asked and
coercion?
answered.
Your Honor,
Wait,
this is a new
hold on.
line of questioning.
What was the question? It didn't finish.
Whether she saw any signs of threat or coercion towards the individuals that the defendants were speaking with.
Overruled. Hadn't been asked yet. You may answer the question, Forza.
I did not.
All right. Fast forwarding a little bit, you later received a call from Reid Dankleaf. What was just briefly, what was the nature of that call again?
He had a kidney that he was willing to sell for me, and if I didn't call off the pursuing officers, he would throw it out of the window.
All right. Did the defendants indicate how they had acquired that kidney?
They did not specify on the call, no.
All right. At this time or any time later, did you find out who the kidney was acquired from?
We had the the victim of the incident down at the docks at Pillbox Medical, but I was unable to take a statement as they had been admitted to the ICU and we were severely understaffed, so I was pulled away.
Gotcha. I understand. Your statement in this report indicates that without all of the evidence needed, you, quote, did not feel comfortable pressing charges without further investigation. Is that correct?
All right,
Yes.
stop. I'm going to make this incredibly simple. This is a government building. If you are smoking in here, I will fucking remove you personally, and you will never see the light of day again. Am I understood? Uh-oh, everybody, Dad's here. Start behaving. Resume.
My apologies, Senior Deputy Forcer. Do you need me to restate the question?
I need you to restate the question as well.
All right. The statement on this exhibit says that, quote, without all of the evidence needed, end quote, you, quote, did not feel comfortable pressing charges without further investigation. Is that correct?
Correct.
What evidence at the time did you feel was missing?
I would have quite liked to speak with the victim to gather some clarification as to what actually occurred down on the docks.
Okay. And what charges were you considering at that time?
There were. I do not recall.
All right. You've used the word victim a couple of times here. I'm curious. Are you familiar with Fight Club style events that happen in the city?
I have never had to respond to one myself, no.
Okay. You never, like, not in your professional capacity necessarily, but you've never seen one of the kind of boxing matches that are held in various locations?
I am aware that they exist, but I wasn't aware that people were losing organs at them, sir.
No, I'm not saying that they are. Individuals who participate in these boxing matches, would you call them a victim of assault and battery?
No.
Why not?
I guess they signed up for it.
They signed up for it. Okay. All right. All right. Looking at the People's G for golf. You recorded an interaction with Rudy Renson on this. I just want to go over this very briefly one more time. Was there DNA testing run on the finger found in relation to this report?
Yes, I attempted to, but it came back inconclusive. We were unable to get any DNA match.
All right. For a little bit of levity, did you try to run the fingerprint?
Yes, I did everything that I could, but it came back that we got nothing.
No results. So it's not attached to any known attacks or attempted murders that you're aware of?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
All right. Deputy Forcer, this is going to be a very silly question. Are you familiar with Forcer's Law?
Yes, I am.
Could you tell the court what your understanding of that law is?
Any individual who commits the offense of attempted first degree on multiple occasions, premeditation, clear intent. Sorry, I don't have the full definition on hand, but it's
No, that's fine. That was actually very close, a very good paraphrasing. Are you aware of what the minimum number of victims required for Forcer's Law is?
3.
3. And just to clarify, the underlying offense, we need premeditation for that, right?
Clear intent or premeditation.
Clear intent or premeditation for what?
Each attack. And consistencies with the attacks.
Okay, but what do they have to be intending to do is my question.
Attempted first degree.
First degree murder?
Correct.
Okay. I just want to ask you, are you able to name directly from your experiences or reviewing any of these reports, any of the alleged victims of attempted first degree murder by the defendants who are standing behind me?
It's like I mentioned before, sir, I was not very much involved in this investigation. It's like I said, I took 2 reports and I took a short break from the city, so I have not been able to go over the reports myself.
Completely. We all need to take a vacation every now and then. Even Justice Labar over there has his home in Bora Bora these days.
Don't bring me into this.
I have
Can
no
you
further
can you
questions.
restate that last question that you made? I didn't get it all.
If she was able to name directly from her experience or her review of the records any of the alleged victims of attempted first-degree murder.
Okay, thank you. And her answer was that of no. Okay, thank you.
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
And I have a couple. All right. So kind of pulling things back to where I was when I previously tried this question, I am referencing the day when you went to visit the Lost MC compound, when you spoke to Rudy and Reid. So on that day, when you went to meet with them, were you aware of the murder that had occurred just the day before regarding Wilmert Zudotoku at the Sandy Shores Motel?
Initially, no, but by the time I had gone to the compound, I had been made aware of it, yes.
Okay. Did you speak to Rudy or Reid about that murder?
I mentioned it to Rudy, and Reid came over and started making comments about it, whether or not we found different items on scene.
Okay. At that time, did you suspect Reid of having committed that murder?
I didn't. I thought he was being an idiot.
Okay. Did you tell him that?
Oh, yes, 100%.
Okay. I actually have no further questions. Thank you.
Prosecution cross-examination.
Detective Foster, you said he was making comments about that murder. What kind of comment?
He was asking about the body. Did we find a hammer? Did we find a knife? Did we find a cell phone? And I said, I don't believe we found a cell phone. I skimmed over the reports earlier. And he said, oh, you must have missed it.
So he was familiar with details of that scene.
It appeared so, yes.
All right. Did he ask any other specifics about the scene?
I believe it was at that point when Rudy told him to shut the fuck up.
Right. Okay.
Sorry about my language, sir.
Again, when officers are pressing charges, do they have to do so immediately?
Negative. We have up to 30 days to push charges, conduct the investigation, and so on.
All right. Thank you.
Nothing, Your Honor.
Pike, nothing.
Nope, I got nothing.
Redirect.
No redirect, Your Honor.
All right, Forza, you are free to go. Is there anyone else that you have marked for recall? I believe you had.
I believe that's all. That's all that we had marked for. That's all that we had marked for recall. But I would like to call Reid Dankleaf to the stand, Your Honor.
Reid, have you been made aware of your Fifth Amendment rights?
Yes, Your
Do so now if you have not done so, Crane.
Reid, you have the right against self-incrimination. You may reassert this right at any time, including during cross-examination by the the district attorney's office over there. If you do so, all of your testimony will be stricken from the record. Do you understand that?
I understand.
There we go. Open court. You heard it.
I actually didn't hear him. He's talking too low.
I said yes. I acknowledge.
All right, come on up. Get sworn in. I don't know your name, but swear him in.
I cannot hear you talking,
Can't
ma'am.
hear you talking either.
My mistake. It's Esther. We've met several times, Your Honor. But
Sorry, Esther, I don't remember you.
That's okay. Raise your arm for me, Reid.
Yes, Esther.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury? So help you, Coil.
Yes, I do.
All right, witness is sworn in.
All right. Reid, do you live in the Sandy Shores area?
Yes.
Were you in the Sandy Shores area on December 19th, 2020?
Yes.
Did you go to a what you later discovered was a crime scene with EMS and police officers present?
Yes.
Were police officers and EMS already on scene at the time that you arrived?
EMS was.
Were you allowed to walk freely within that crime scene?
Yes.
Did you take note of any items that were left on the floor of that hotel room?
Yes.
Did you later notify Deputy Forcer of the items that you saw?
Yes.
No further questions. Actually, I've got one more. Reid, did you kill Welmert Zudu Toko? I don't know how to pronounce his name. Did you kill that guy?
No.
Okay, that's my last question. Reid, one more question. Two more questions. Are you a medical professional?
No.
Are you wearing pants?
No.
Okay, that's the last one, I promise.
Parker.
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Okay. Switching over to defense for cross examination.
We don't have anything, Your Honor.
Yeah, you said you're the defense, Your Honor. That's the prosecutor over there.
I'm sorry, prosecution. Do you have any cross examination questions? No. Yes. No.
No, Your Honor.
No, we don't.
Okay. All right. Then you may step down, Mr. Dankleaf.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. Are there any more witnesses from the defense?
There are not, Your Honor, but we would like to briefly go over evidence, a few pieces of the prosecution's evidence.
Okay. Recess. Oh, wait. Would you like to? You want to go over evidence right now? Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, I would.
Go ahead.
Referring to the People's Exhibit E for Echo, that's going to be case number 5935. This particular report, specifically towards the bottom of the written portion of the report, indicates that members of the loss, including the defendants who are on trial today, had stated that the alleged victim willingly came to them and was paid for his time and or body parts. It is further worth noting that the alleged victim, for whom my clients are at trial today, is not named whatsoever. There's no follow-up on this. They're being charged for victimizing someone who, for all intents and purposes, does not exist, according to this report. Flipping over to the People's Exhibit F for Foxtrot. It is worth noting that the first portion of this report refers to the alleged victim only as patient 1. Again, no one gave a shit about this guy. Nobody asked him what his name was. Nobody bothered following up. Nobody asked him for his ID. There's no medical report relating to this specific patient 1 individual. Further, it's indicated within the report written by Detective Hall that patient 1 had signed a contract consenting to whatever it was that may or may not have happened to him. It's also worth noting it within this report that patient one did not leave the scene willingly, according to the report. In fact, he was detained by police officers because he was more concerned about losing out on his $15,000 than he was whatever it was that was going to occur to him. Continuing with the same report, there is an indication within the fifth paragraph of the second portion of this that Senior Detective Kyle Pred and Detective Jenny Hall were fighting because Detective Pred believed there was enough evidence to place a warrant out for the defendants and others, while another senior detective did not believe that. Towards the end of this report, it is indicated, I'm going to quote a portion of this. Twinkle willingly got into a vehicle with them, and part of the agreement was that Twinkle would sterilize the area before the surgery took place. The very end of the report states Hall asked if he, referring to Twinkle, even cared about his life or losing his kidney, to which he replied he didn't. Both of these individuals consented. It is hard to say that there is any victim to be found from this report. Going further, let's see, what else have we got in evidence here? Your Honor, I presume that you would not like me going into the people's LMO or I due to the sidebar that we had.
No, please don't.
All right. In that instance, that concludes the defense's review of the evidence presented by the prosecution, and we rest.
All right, both parties have rested. I am going to allow a brief recess, and I will be back soon.
Yeah.
All right. Dankleaf, you are a twisted individual.
Uh-oh, that's not good.
Whatever you have going through your head, I hope you can get that sorted out. What has happened here and performing and trying to extract body parts from people, it's absolutely heinous, and it's
He said anus.
god awful. It's terrible. All while doing it while not being a medical professional. I will say that on the charge of first degree murder, we don't have any evidence of who those parts belong to. There are no missing reports. There's absolutely nothing for me to charge you with first degree murder. So I'm going to find you not guilty on that charge. Impersonating a doctor. Times two. On two different occasions, two officers found you wearing doctor's clothing, being around a hospital, performing these procedures. I am going to find you guilty on both counts.
Damn it.
On the attempted kidnapping and kidnapping, for whatever reason, these individuals that you found had went on their own accord, trying to sell you their body parts. I'm gonna find you not guilty on that either.
Oh yeah.
On the reckless evading, I'm gonna find you guilty, and the resisting arrest, I'm gonna find you guilty as well, as you have already pled to those.
Fair enough.
Moving on over to the attempted murder in the first degree.
Sorry, Rachel.
First off, we don't have any of the victims here, but what we do have is reports of people who had their organs removed by an individual who was not medically trained. Absolutely terrible, heinous type things. to cut into somebody and not be professionally trained is absolutely horrid, and it is absolutely crazy. But on the attempted murder of the first degree times 5, I'm gonna find you not guilty. However, I will find you guilty of assault with a deadly weapon times 3. And to the nature of these crimes, heinousness of what has happened here, I'm gonna find out I'm gonna enact Coop's law at this time. I will
Interesting.
determine a rightful statute, but the reason for this is you, sir, going and performing these acts and continuously doing them over and over on these three separate individuals are crimes, and they are in fact heinous in nature. Okay. And Coop's law reads as follows. Where any citizen is found guilty of multiple, numerous, and or continuous instances of heinous, malicious, and or capital level crimes in the state of San Andreas in a short period of time, it's being done within a week or so of each other, the citizens may be subject to the following sentences and or punishments in spite of the rights to outlined above to be carried out and at the discretion of the Department of Justice. So at this time, I am going to enact Coop's law on you at this time. And for the rest, Taryn Reid, you will be found guilty of impersonating a doctor, assault with a deadly weapon, and resisting arrest. For Al Weaselton, you will be found guilty of impersonating a doctor.
Damn.
And for Holt,
We can't hear you, Your Honor.
can you guys hear me now? Where did I leave off on?
You said for
Oh,
Holden.
For Holden Malou, impersonating a doctor, possession of a Class 2
7
firearm,
years ago.
assault with a deadly weapon, resisting arrest, oxy, and being in possession of oxy and or meth, you would be found guilty on all of those charges.
Oh, shucks.
Reid,
The
you can
thing
still
I
be
was
sentenced to
guilty
death.
for.
So, at this time, if you would like to get together some statements as to what you guys, if people want to speak on behalf of Mr. Dankleaf, and if anybody wants to speak against Mr. Dankleaf, I will allow you guys to gather up those people at this time for sentencing. This will be switched
would
over
love
to a
that.
sentencing hearing under Coop's law. First off, let's go with the prosecution. Do you have anybody you want to call?
Can I speak briefly, Your Honor?
You may.
At this time, we would, for sentencing, be strongly recommending life in prison for Mr. Dankleaf. He, as you said, committed these acts heinously, showed no remorse at any point during any part of this. Even after you told him he was facing Coop's law and the penalties thereof, he was laughing and joking over there, speaking about building Ryan 2.0, that he needed Valentina's pancreas because of Ryan's diabetes, that he was amazed he wasn't still in Parsons. He said
That
he
was
said previous
privileged information.
5150s.
I
and
was
he
whispering. How
previously
dare you?
made a cannibal call, 8 people, and made a crown out of fingers because he was locked in a recycling center for 20 minutes. This is not a man that should be free on the streets.
Good old Coop's law
I
saves
was
the day
talking
again.
to my lawyer in confidence.
Right.
Good old Coop's law
Is there
saves your
anyone
day
else
again.
that y'all wish to call?
Yeah, Reid, you're shouting.
Not at this time, yeah.
None of the officers want to speak.
Did you just like a lady start playing?
Hadouken.
Oh, that's great.
Isn't that what he
Honor.
says? Hadouken.
All right.
No, Your Honor.
This is the defense.
How's it go?
Call Judge LeBar first.
I can't.
Who do you wish to call?
No, I can't go up there yet. I'm gonna laugh too hard.
Call
All
Judge
right.
LeBar. Do it.
Your Honor, I'm going to say something briefly, and then we'll get to a couple of impact
You may.
statements.
I'm gonna start thinking about laughing again.
Your Honor, the defense would like to point out that there are no victim impact statements to be given because the prosecution didn't care enough to summon the actual victims or alleged victims.
They're
of
dead.
This. these crimes to trial today.
they? Question mark.
Even if found guilty of forcer's law, which is what the DA was seeking in the first place, and the death penalty were actually on the table right now, the prosecution would be ill prepared to give any impact statements supporting it.
Let me hear this.
Your Honor, my client has been in jail for 16 years pending trial for the offenses accused of him. He's been found not guilty of the crimes that were specifically alleged in this case. And further, he was found not guilty in the People versus the Lost Motorcycle Club. He has served a sentence longer than most convicted murderers, despite killing no one. Thus, the defense would request politely that this court's verdict reflect that and sentence him to time served with other more creative means as this court deems fit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to open the floor to impact statements now. You said, all right. We'll get Justice Labar.
It's me.
All right, Labar, you come on up.
This is like when all those cops made good statements on Denzel.
I'm fucking capable of talking shit.
Well,
that's because
first of all,
individuals listen.
I'd like to thank the prosecutors, the defense attorneys for a solid court case today. Yeah, I'm pissed about a few things, but I can address that at a later time. What we're talking about here is Reid Dankleaf potentially going to prison for the rest of his life. Now, it's been past 30 days. Reid Dankleaf in my phone. His name is David. He used to do a lot of shit for me.
Oh, no.
Used to get things done. But at the end of the day, Your Honor, I feel that, yeah, I think Reid should really spend the rest of his fucking life in prison for everything that he's done.
What the fuck?
It's a sad day. Some people are missing some body parts, maybe potentially dead, and I think you did the right thing by pulling Coop's law out your ass there to get him in prison. But yeah, no, in all actual seriousness, I look, at the end of the day, I believe Crane said it pretty good. There's people that have done far worse and much more heinous than Reid Dankleaf has done, and are out on the streets right now still doing the same thing. Now, I think Reid has a large debt to be repaid to society, but whichever way you feel that you need to do that, I'll quote D.H. Lawrence, self-pity. I never saw a wild thing sorry for itself. A small bird will drop frozen dead from a bough without ever having felt sorry for itself.
Thank you, Labar. Is there anyone else?
So wait, you calling me out there?
I think he is.
Yes.
You know what? Apparently, Justice Wayne Artson is next, Your Honor.
Apparently, I am. All right.
All right, come on up, Artson.
All right. All
That's
right.
beautiful.
Your Honor.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean? I tripped over
What can I say about Reid?
My tongue got twisted.
I prosecuted a lot of cases based off of information I got from Reid. So, he's got a warm place in the very bottom of my heart because of that. But I think we need to consider the words of Sheriff Travis Tribble. One of the many instances he's had to deal with Mr. Dankleaf. I believe direct quote from him would be, "I fucking hate you, Reid. I'm going to shoot you. You're going to die." And that coming from the highest level of law enforcement in this city. But if I had to have a Reid Dankleaf out on the streets, I think I would actually want to have this Reid Dankleaf out on the streets instead of the 3 billion copycats that have and most likely will show up. So at the very least, we can get this one to kill all the other ones.
Hell
That's
yeah.
really all I got to say.
All right. Thank you.
That was beautiful.
Is there anyone else that wishes to speak?
We've got a couple more.
And besides
Your Honor.
Reid,
We'll
it's
call
been
Gary up.
It's
that's
been
fine.
what, almost 2 years since the last time you informed me of anything.
Listen, I was facing the death penalty. Okay, it was
You
different
were.
times.
I just want to say thank you for having me here, Your Honor. You know, you look like a sporting man, and you know you can appreciate sport. And I just want to appease to your good nature that Reid, if you send him away for life, I'm literally never going to be able to take him back home to England, and he'll never be able to visit Old Trafford with me and watch a game of football, Man United, where you know we could potentially win the Premier League. And if he's in prison for life, I mean, shit, he's never going to be able to see that, is he?
It's true.
So, Your Honor,
in there, couldn't he?
please don't send him away. I need to take him and show him what true football is.
Beautiful, Gary.
Your Honor, might as well life sentence him because Manu will never win the league ever again.
Wow.
That's
That is
true.
true, Judge.
That's
Hibiki.
true.
Yeah.
Well, I would also consider take it into consideration. Is there anyone else that wishes to speak on
we
behalf
got
of?
plenty more, Your Honor.
Yeah,
Mr.
we got
Dankleaf?
we've got at least 3 more, Your Honor.
Like adjusting.
All right,
this.
come on up.
We're gonna call the DOC and the tank top up.
Yeah.
Your shirt tight.
Okay.
Hello,
What's
Your
going on,
Honor. My
Fontaine?
name's.
Fontaine.
Hey, I'm doing all right. How about you?
I'm all right.
My name's Corrections Officer Winona Fontaine. I'm gonna read a report verbatim from a jailbreak last night. This is directly from a report.
Hey, look, Dennis.
It's titled DOC Report.
What?
Riot turn jailbreak. Hashtag Fontaine POV. Hashtag gone wrong. Hashtag it's just a prank, bro. Hashtag top 10 Bolingbroke betrayals.
Okay, go ahead.
Skip ahead to the important parts.
No, read the whole thing, please.
All right, the whole thing. I arrived on scene to assist in a prison transport of Bree Matthews to court. Upon arrival to the scene, I was told an ongoing riot was code for by MD1. Bison insisted on clearing the prison, and while clearing the prison, a prison break ensued. I am unsure when the other DOC went down, as it appeared to be fine at one point per the prison MD, but they were rendered incapacitated immediately after. Next part's the important part.
Go ahead.
701 started to clear the prison at the request of Bison to ensure all prisoners were cuffed and in cells. While 701 was clearing the prison, Reid Dankleaf politely ignored her order to put his fucking hands up and stop moving, where he then hid behind the doorway to a cafeteria and proceeded to try to shank her. Her being me, Your Honor.
Damn it.
Reid Dankleaf was shot down by 701 using a PDAR. It made me feel like really good about myself, like kind of powerful. I don't know, I might be addicted to shooting now. We can talk about that later, Captain. I would just like the official record to show that while Reid did brandish and thrust his knife at me, a knife that can only be described as small and compact, it did seem like a very half-hearted attempt, as he only very lazily lunged for my body. After shooting him down in cold blood, he was remorseful immediately afterwards, proving once and for all, Reid's probably like an okay guy. I also don't know how to spell Reid, so I'm just going to spell it 3 different ways in this report to cover my ass. That's it.
Beautiful.
He's like an okay guy.
Thank you. Duly noted.
Okay, they didn't.
Beautiful.
Your Honor, we would also call up Roman
That didn't go the
Sayos.
way I thought it was going to go.
Yeah, no.
Come on up, Roman. Go ahead and speak.
I'm pleasantly not surprised.
Oh, the guy who testified.
Your Honor, I
against him, what
would
the
first
fuck?
like to apologize for the language I'm about to use.
It's fine. Go ahead.
For the years I've known Reid, I know Artson stated from Travis Tribble,
I feel like
but
this is a roast.
it certainly feels like that, Reid. You are a fucking idiot.
I called it.
And not only myself, but Patty, and I'm sure that a lot of the other members of the Lost would also agree. Your actions cause more harm than good. You put so much on the line. There is not a brain cell in that head of yours. And Your Honor, I think you know what must be done. However, everyone here can agree he is an idiot, but he's our idiot. And I don't think anyone would really want to see him put away for life. He's like a toddler that just keeps wanting attention, but he's also like that lost puppy that just keeps wanting to go and, try and hump you like.
Oh.
And I
Duly
swear to
noted.
God, if he tries to hump my leg, I'll put him down.
No, hump Aaron's leg.
Duly noted.
I'll put him down regardless.
Beautiful mask. Right, Holden.
All right. Finishing off strong, Your Honor, we're going to call Holden to speak on
You
Reed's
got
behalf.
this, son.
All right, go on ahead, Holden.
Yeah, you can be next, Rachel.
Denzel Williams is the godfather of my adopted daughter, Griselda. Oh, hold on. Shit. Hold on. Wrong one. Reid Dankleaf is the father of my brother and me. Reid was there for my brother while I was still in ICU after being hit on the back of their head and hitting the concrete. That is why he became my dad, because he was my brother's dad. He quickly accepted me into the family just the same as he did my brother. He would always contact me whenever there was an issue or give me general updates like a good dad would. If my dad went to jail forever, I would be coming from another broken family. Before Reid was my dad, my mum, when she gave birth to me in the bathtub, injected heroin into my umbilical cord. So honestly, Reid was a step up, surprisingly. I don't want to be from another broken family because that's really sad, and I don't like being sad. And my other dad, Ryan, I mean, come on, when was the last time you actually saw Ryan for more than maybe 3 days in a row at most, if you're lucky? I don't think my dad should die because inherently he's not a bad man. For the definition of good and bad would see most of us prosecuted. But he is that of a man who has made mistakes. Terrible mistakes that he will never live down, but he will learn from and learn to be a better man and a better father from.
And surgeon.
It is with and surgeon from. It is with this knowledge of who my dad Reid is that I simply cannot justify in my own state of mind that he deserves such extremities of a punishment. You would willingly be putting 3 children into a broken home and would then be stuck in the system. Do you really want more children stuck in the system, Your Honor? Ask yourself this when rendering the verdict on my dad, Reid Dankleaf.
Thank you, son. Thank you.
All right.
It's okay,
Your
Dad.
Honor, we've got one more. My co-counsel, Rachel Parker, would like to say a few
Oh, my
words.
auntie.
Okay.
You got
Go
this,
ahead.
step sis.
All right. So they say you don't choose your family.
Hey, Bron.
And
I'm
I
sorry.
certainly did not and would not have chosen Reid in a million years. But Ryan did. And I may hate Reid, but Ryan loves him. And I love Ryan more than I hate Reid. And I could not, in good conscience, advocate for him to be sent away and separated from my brother for the rest of our lives and the lives of his family.
I love you too, step sis.
I hate you.
They're gonna bang later.
What a bitch.
Amen.
While I personally could not care any less what happens to him, I know that they all do. I feel like he needs help, and I feel like he can
Where'd Artson
change.
go?
But he deserves the opportunity at the very least.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Rachel.
All right.
We
Is there
got
any more?
we got one last one, Your Honor. Murphy Braun.
Oh, Bron.
Yeah. Go on, Braun. It's your turn.
Oh, what? Ron's here?
Hello, Your Honors.
Let's go, Bronco.
Ladies and gentlemen of the court, I was on time today. Everybody knows that. And I
Hey,
was totally
Murphy,
not involved if we lost.
You've got to give your opening statement. We're just
You gotta give
starting.
your opening.
Yeah.
Okay. Reid Dankleaf is a complicated man with complicated tastes. He enjoys the
Human
finer
flesh.
things, though he lives in squalor, and he enjoys squalor, though he is very fine. All this man wanted was the love of his dear husband. And could we, must we punish someone who has done so much and gone so far for love? For love is the drug that I'm dreaming of. Love is the great unifier of our times, and any and all things done for love must be cherished.
It is.
As we cherish our binges of Netflix and the popcorn that comes with it, as we cherish a warm gaze from a dear friend, and as we cherish the pancreas and the finger that we must aspire to build into the person that we want to be our partner for life. Love, your honors, love is the bond that unites us all, and to punish a man for daring to love would tear us apart. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you.
And that concludes the impact statements on part of the defense, Your Honor.
All right, it sounds like we lost. I'm going back here.
Holy shit.
Sorry.
What the
Sorry, I'm out of breath. I just caught a flight. Hi, how you doing?
No, I don't want Jack to make. No, I don't want Jack to do one.
How
Would
is
you like
this
to make
man
a-
out of Max
Would you like
egg?
to make a statement
It's a joke
Yeah.
on behalf of
I
basically trying to keep him
don't.
out of
I
prison?
don't think you should kill Reid.
Not killing him. Life in prison.
Because I want to kill Reid.
Wait, what?
Wait,
Fuck you,
okay.
Jack.
Thank you. Is there any more you would like to add, Jack?
No, I mean, when you consider it, he's not as crazy as I am, so he can't be all that bad, can he?
Duly noted.
Can I throw a wild card into this, Your Honor?
Sure.
Watch your tongue, Reid.
I would like to hear an impact statement from law enforcer.
Oh.
Oh, wait, there's a police officer here?
Yes, there's
Yeah,
got a gun.
Several.
4 or 5.
I would like to hear a law enforcer's opinion on this, Your Honor.
I'm eating a bagel, Reid.
Beautiful.
Wait,
do
what'd
it
you say,
proudly.
Forza? I didn't.
Mm.
Oh, okay.
Eating.
Go ahead. What are you eating?
Bagels are amazing.
What are you eating? I want to
I'm
know.
eating
A bagel.
What kind of bagel?
Is it an everything bagel? Because that's the best kind of bagel.
Asiago bagel is a better bagel than that.
No,
Bagels are shit donuts.
it's the sesame bagel with chipotle ketchup and veggie sausages.
Ooh, ew.
Oh,
I'm
man.
sorry, what?
Ew.
Ketchup on a bagel.
I'm
Okay.
sorry, what?
Everybody quiet down.
Veggie
Quiet down. Let
sausages.
Forza speak now. Let her speak.
Oh no, she's
Um,
trustworthy, Your Honor. She's eating a veggie sausage.
It's fine.
'Twas
Sounds
brillig,
terrible.
and the slithy toaths did gyre and gimble in the wabe. All mimsy were the borogroves and the moanraths outgrabe. And that's thank you.
Thank you, Forza.
Was that English?
Old English.
It was
sounded
Welsh.
like.
I understood some of those words, but not
We
together
have
in
a
that way.
Patty Patrickson
I
on the
am
way to
very
give a
posh,
witness
so
statement
I
as
can
well.
understand posh
Impact
accents.
statement.
Yeah, it's
Um,
the same thing.
There is he here or not? Because I'm gonna go and deliberate.
He will
on
be
the
here
punishment.
in 5 seconds, Your Honor.
All right, this will be the last one, and then I gotta go decide on what I'm gonna do to you.
Okay.
If he bursts through those doors with an AK and guns you down, I wouldn't be surprised.
I'll let it happen.
If he does that, the default will be life in prison.
Admit it though, this is the greatest case of all time.
Your Honor, you saying that would make
No,
Patty want to do
Patty
it
gets
more.
the last one.
Oh.
Because you know Patty's is gonna be hilarious. course he won't. I'll cut off your legs. Yeah. Wait. Would it be appropriate for the justice to make an impact statement?
Who, me?
Yeah.
You know, Reid, I don't know you very well, Reid.
Yeah, but do you think I deserve to die?
No.
Woohoo! Oh,
here
here's
he is.
Patty. Hey, Patty, your turn.
Oh, fantastic. On time. Great.
More on time than Murphy.
Your honors, ladies and gentlemen of the COD, I am here to briefly talk about
Hey, I missed anything? I had to
my
get
known
burgers.
associate.
Oh,
I wouldn't
thought
go
you
as
were in
far
the
as to call him a friend, Mr. Reid Dankleaf.
Thank you, step bro.
Mr. Dankleaf and I have a strained relationship at best. Strained being I would like to strain its fucking neck every time I look at him. Apologies for the language I will use throughout, Your Honor. Mr. Dankleaf is a cunt, as I'm sure you're all aware. Though he is the cunt that I desire to be around the most sometimes. Mossy is a complete prick, a narcissist, a maniac, and a downright fucking lunatic. Thank you. He is, for all intents and purposes, our fucking lunatic, our fucking maniac, our fucking deranged, as he would put it, step bro, that likes to get lost inside a tumble dryer and pegged from behind by multiple men. But that is neither here nor there, Your Honors. He is a good man at heart. He does have a heart of gold. He will try his best, and he can be reformed and learn the errors of his ways. Though he may make another one before he gets there, i.e., like he's done in the past. As you may know, Mr. Dankleaf was in fact a crackhead / meth head at one point. I can honestly say I've not seen Reid do meth in quite some time, mostly because he knows if he does, we'll all kill him. And I'm sure if we can get past this point and remind him consistently never to harvest organs again, we may just get there. Your Honor, I do not believe that this man is a lost cause. He can be helped and he can be saved. I'm not talking in any sort of religious sense, but I'm just saying he could possibly be helped and possibly be saved. I hope you take this into consideration when you pass a verdict on this man, although if you do shoot him in the head, I want a front row seat. Thank you and goodbye.
Splash Zone tickets.
Yours wasn't as funny as the
Right.
others, Patty.
I'm not
That's
entirely
Alright,
sure
and,
if he can be saved by me either.
Thank
And
you,
Your
guys.
Honor, the defense
Yes.
would just close out referring to the People's Exhibit I and the People's Exhibit M, showing that the statements about my client being a fucking idiot, but being kind-hearted, are actually proved within the People's own exhibits. Valentina Hobbs.
This is an I and what?
I and M, India and Mike.
Okay.
The statement recorded by Detective Pred indicates that Reid Dankleaf felt bad for one Valentina Hobbs, inquired about her missing pancreas, and promised to get her a new one. He's an idiot. He's a criminal. But he is, for all intents and purposes, the Robin Hood of stealing organs, and he is kind-hearted.
In Mike, or the report of Mike, where does that say that he was he felt bad? I saw I, but where in Mike are we talking?
Oh, my apologies, Your Honor, Lima.
What the fuck?
Oh, no. This turned right
What
into
the
an
fuck
episode
are
of
you
Bold
doing
and the
here?
Beautiful.
All right. Thank you. If that is all, I will give me like 2 or 3 minutes. I'll come back. So this is the sentencing will commence now.
Pump.
Mr. Dankleaf, go ahead and stand at the center of the court. Be ready for your sentence. Okay. Mr. Dankleaf, I'm going to be sentencing you to 10 years of parole. Okay.
Oh, fuck.
Yep. no crimes. If you can run red lights, misdemeanor, traffic infractions, it's fine. 10 years of
We did it.
of parole. During those 10 years, okay. Forza. Yeah, Forza. I'm gonna be sentencing him to report to you every day during the parole.
You're my babysitter.
Okay. You can make him right. You can make him do whatever you want him to do for community service during that parole. Okay.
If you're up for it.
If you are up for it.
Yeah, you know what?
Okay.
If
All
I'm
right.
Hell yeah.
Good. You're
He's
also
here to
gonna
say yes so
have
many times there.
a minimum of 6 sessions of psychiatric therapy down
Excuse
at
me?
the Bolingbrook State Penitentiary.
The best
The
is
fuck
yet to
you
come.
say?
Oh
Yes,
man,
psychiatric therapy
Shut
down
up,
at the Pillbox Medical. Okay. 6 sessions.
Does
Along
group therapy
with
count?
if the therapist deems it necessary. And the last and final punishment of your sentencing is you are no longer able to ride a bike ever again in the state of San Andreas.
Wow, Crane.
What the
Well,
fuck?
that
Life
is
without a
cruel
bike.
and unusual.
And I will add this stipulation to it. After 15 years, you can apply to try and have and ride a bike again.
How could
You mean like
Crane
a
let this
pedal
happen?
bike?
Motorcycle.
Do
Oh,
we
okay.
still have guns in the stash house?
Just
Is that
take
wrong
it,
of me
Reid.
to
Just
do
say yes.
Is that wrong of me to clarify?
It's not really something that he can take. It's what's being admitted to. So with the bike, yeah, you cannot be found in the state of San Andreas on a motorcycle.
Can I be riding bitch?
No motorcycles.
So I'm on fucking van detail?
Yes, that's what it sounds like.
Oh, you
With that being said, I find that justice has been rendered today, and
slam your gavel so I can swear at you.
This case is adjourned.
Fuck you, Your Honor. You're full
What
of
about
shit.
the other 40